I have spent over $45,000 on all of my tattoos so far. That is a lot of money and a lot of time in that tattoo chair. And I've realized that I've not done a tattoo tour in a while, and I added a lot to my collection. So in this video, we're going to be talking about all of my tattoos, why I got them, and much more. Now, I can't show you what my first ever tattoo was because, well, I covered it up. I got it when I was a young age. I was about 20 years old when I got it done. I thought I was going to really love it, but literally within like the second year of me having it, I completely regretted it and I hated it every day when I looked at it. It was literally everything that I tell you not to do on this channel, I did when I was younger, and it was just a crappy tattoo. So I ended up getting it covered up with my chest, which I'll show you guys later on. The second tattoo that I've ever gotten was this Leonardo da Vinci portrait that sits on the top of my shoulder of my black and gray sleeve. Now, I don't exactly remember the tattoo artist's name, but I was referred by a family friend. I thought back in the day that this guy had really good tattoos, so he was gonna not steer me in the wrong direction and say like, hey, this tattoo artist was good. And the Da Vinci tattoo that I have isn't the worst tattoo that I've ever seen, but after going to a tattoo artist like Matt, for example, you know, and getting good quality work, I definitely know that this could have been a better tattoo. Now, the reason why I wanted to get a Leonardo da Vinci tattoo was simple. He was such an inspiration to me when I was younger. I remember doing a project on Leonardo da Vinci in school, and it was like realistically the only project that I ever got like an A+ on because I was just so invested into his story. He was just a brilliant mind, so I wanted to muralize him on my body somehow. Going down to my black and gray sleeve is my Direwolf tattoo, and this is by far one of my favorite tattoos that I have on my body because it represents my childhood dog Dillinger that unfortunately passed away when I was 15. My dad decided to get a puppy about 2 or 3 weeks after I was born because he didn't want me to grow up alone. I do have 2 older brothers and sisters, but they're like really old. So he wanted me to have like a companion. And that dog, this German Shepherd, was literally with me every single day. And we just had an unbreakable bond. And now the reason why I ended up getting a Direwolf tattoo was simple. When I was younger, my parents would always tell me that our dog was an actual wolf. And I believed them because I was younger. So I wanted to not only get a memorial of my dog, because still to this day, I think about him every single day. So I ended up taking to Matt a reference picture of my dog Dillinger and a wolf. And he mixed both of the reference photos together and came up with this. And I do gotta say, it hurt like a but it is still one of my favorite tattoos, and it's just one of those things that I could always look down at and always feel like Dillinger is with me. Now, if you move slightly over to the right of the Direwolf, you'll then see my lamb tattoo, and a lot of people ask me,
Mike, why did you get a tattoo of a lamb on your arm?
and the answer is there's a couple different reasons. One of the main reasons is because of the sheer fact, no pun intended, is I wanted to put something in my sleeve that wasn't so ferocious, wasn't so, you know, angry looking, not like a full-blown like killer animal. I wanted to have something like that was more lighthearted, very gentle, very fragile. And I feel like this piece right here kind of brings everything together because it is a polar opposite of everything else that's incorporated into the sleeve. And also it does have multiple different meanings. There's a story that stuck with me from when I was really, really young, and it was The Lion and the Lamb and the fable of the wolf and the lamb. Both really phenomenal stories. It's just a representation of kind of what I live by. Now, even though this is a sheep tattoo, this part of the sleeve really hurt for some reason because I guess because it's like right by like the elbow ditch, and the elbow ditch is like one of the worst spots on the arm. Right below the lamb is my St. Michael casting away Lucifer. Now, this tattoo is one of the most meaningful tattoos that I have. As you guys know, my name is Mike, but the reason why I got this particular stance is simple. When my mom was pregnant with me, my dad and my mom went on a trip to Williamsburg, Virginia to Busch Gardens. And in France, I'm French, there was a statue of St. Michael casting away Lucifer. And they really didn't have a name picked out for me at this time, but that's when they found out that they were gonna name me Michael after St. Michael after that statue, which is now incorporated in my sleeve tattoo. Pretty cool. Flipping on to the other side of my outer forearm is my lion tattoo. And sometimes I forget that I have a lion tattoo on my body, but it's like in one of the most visible areas. But anyway, this tattoo absolutely sucked to get. I remember because of how black it was and how many details were in the lion piece, it was really painful, man. And it was right on the forearm. I'm somebody that really thinks the forearm is one of the most painful spots of the arm. A lot of people say it's one of the easiest, but me, I think it's really painful. But anyway, this incorporates into the lion, the lamb, and the wolf. I was really happy with this. And the other part that is really sick, and this was not even planned, this was just Matt doing what he does, my tattoo artist. There's a mountain in the background, and the sun rays are shining, going all the way up my sleeve to then connect to my Leonardo da Vinci piece. So it's going into his robe. And when I saw that, I'm like, man, that's some creative stuff right there. I would have never thought of that. Now we get into my color tattoos. Now, to give you some context, I originally just wanted my black and gray sleeve, and that's all I thought I was gonna get in my tattoo journey. But once I got that, then I was thinking about, man, you know, it'd be cool. Dragon Ball was such a really big part of my life and still is to this day. I'm gonna get a Dragon Ball tattoo, one singular Dragon Ball tattoo, and it was actually going to be this picture right here. But then I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna get a full-blown sleeve. So I first started off with the outer bicep tattoo, which is Goku and Frieza. I got them both done at the exact same time. It actually took a while to plan out this sleeve completely and figure out what characters I wanted to incorporate in it. So this part was actually one of the first pieces that I picked out in the sleeve, and I knew I wanted it to be the focal point, the bicep. We ended up completing this sleeve in, I think, like a month. I was literally living in the tattoo chair. Now, we went from going to do the bicep area to then going all the way down and going to my Vegeta portion. Now, again, multiple different transformations in Dragon Ball, and I wanted to make sure that I had something unique. So I ended up having the red Vegeta, Super Saiyan God, as they call it. This transformation I didn't really see on everybody else. I'm gonna get this version of Vegeta on my arm. And also, I wanted to incorporate Broly in the tattoo, in my sleeve somehow, but I didn't have the real estate for it. I was already picking too many other characters. So what we ended up doing was having like a little fight scene. It's not too detailed down there, but a little fight scene. And we actually completed this whole thing in one session. It took probably about, I think, like 7.5 hours, and it was a pretty long tattoo session. It was pretty fun though. Flipping on to the other side is arguably my favorite part of my Dragon Ball sleeve, and that is my Teen Gohan piece. The reason why I love this piece so much is because of two reasons. One, it's Teen Gohan. This guy right here was literally my childhood. And the second reason why I love it so much is because of the sheer fact of how good this piece came out. When Matt first completed it, I was like, holy crap. I love what he did with the dark blue background. It really makes Gohan pop off the skin, and the colors in Gohan are really awesome. The purples, the skin tones, and the shadows. Now, right below my Gohan tattoo is actually a matching tattoo, which is, again, arguably one of my favorite tattoos that I have, and that is my matching tattoo with my girlfriend Lexi. Now, I am somebody that's not a big fan of having somebody else's name on their body. I just think not only is it bad luck, but it just doesn't look good. But when it comes to representing somebody that you really care about in like some sort of art form, that I'm a big fan of. So me and my girlfriend, we ended up getting a matching tattoo. I have the moon, and it has these lines that connect, and she has the other half of the piece, which is the sun and stars. Just to give some context, we used to date when we were younger, and we would always call each other my sun and stars and the moon of my life. It is a Game of Thrones reference, but that was just something that was our thing when we were younger. So I did have the moon before anything else on this arm, and when I first started my sleeve, I'm like, is this gonna have to be the cutoff point? But Matt was like, no, we could add something a little bit down there. You have enough of a section. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what can I put down there that will not only be cool, but also fit and not look like it's just trying to be crammed down there? So I'm doing my research, trying to look for something to put down there. And I'm like, oh my God, you know what would be really cool there? Trunks' like time machine where it says hope. The word hope is just like a constant reminder for me to never give up hope on things that I really care about. And what better place to get that word than on my wrist, to where I literally see it every day. So after we did the hope tattoo, this last session was probably the longest and one of the most painful tattoo sessions I've ever had. We completed the Trunks, Piccolo, and Goku Black all in the same day. On top of that, we also did all the filler around all of them. And I remember it like it was yesterday. The Piccolo and the Trunks during this session, it was no sweat. They're not as big as all the other characters on my sleeve, but when he got to the inner bicep tattoo, which is the Goku Black, I remember this was the first tattoo session to where I was actually like squirming and couldn't stay still in the chair because of how painful it was. So we got there at like 8 a.m. and probably didn't stop tattooing till around 12 p.m. My elbow looked like somebody shoved a golf ball in there because of how swollen my whole arm was. And it was the weirdest feeling. Like whenever I moved my arm, it would like feel like there was something in it, and it freaked me the hell out. One of the main things that I wanted to incorporate in the sleeve, and Matt did a great job with fulfilling this want that I had, was the fact of having so many bright and vibrant colors throughout the piece. Most of the background of this tattoo is just different bright colors to make the actual character stand out. And now to move over to the chest piece, then I am still super excited about this because I only had it for probably about a month. My chest piece and everything about it is going to go down in history as one of the most memorable tattoos that I've ever had. Most memorable experiences for, again, multiple different reasons. The reason why the experience was so memorable was the fact that I took you along the whole journey with me. I remember vlogging every single session of my chest piece, and those videos, those comments that I was getting, thank you for sharing this with us, or like taking you along the journey and the memories of the journey. It just adds so much more to this whole chest piece. What I have incorporated in the chest piece is on the Dragon Ball side. Of course, I have all 7 Dragon Balls. I gotta have the Eternal Dragon, Shenron, in there. And surprise, surprise, Matt absolutely killed this too. I love what he did with how vibrant he made Shenron, and how the black background again makes Shenron pop off the skin even more. This tattoo itself, I think, took 2 sessions, 3 sessions, 2.5, I forget. One of the easier spots to get tattooed on this side. I really was dreading the chest. I didn't think it was gonna be so easy to get tattooed. I was expecting the worst, but it was actually pretty good. The Shenron piece is awesome, and I love this whole piece over on this side, but if you go onto this side, this is my boy. This is my boy Sirius. Now, for you that may not know, I have a dog. He's gonna be turning 3 on August 2nd, and he is he's my best friend. If you're a dog lover, if you ever have any type of pet, you probably understand the connection that you and your pet have. And this guy, no matter if I'm sad, happy, exhausted, fed up with the world, he is always right by my side. And I just wanted to incorporate him in some way on my body. I want to say it's my favorite tattoo. This thing, the detail in it and how spot on the reference picture is to the tattoo. This is the reference photo and this is the tattoo. Don't even get me started with the eyes. Sirius has these really beautiful golden brown eyes. I really wanted to incorporate those in the sleeve. Now it is supposed to be black and gray, but I wanted the eyes to really stand out, and Matt did such a great job with them. I remember when I first saw this as the reveal, this was the first tattoo that I actually cried when seeing it. Now, Sirius is alive and well. He's a healthy boy. He's awesome. He's young, but still, it was just like, it brought tears to my eyes when I first saw it. Leave a comment below on what your favorite tattoo is, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.